Wow. Wow. It was my good friend Robert Glasper who first told me about this young lady, because we often have Robert Glasper on the show, and he does jam sessions, and he brings artists with him, and we have these conversations about, jazz and just music in general, classical music. It was him that first put me on to this young lady that we have here today, who won a Grammy for Best New Artist as well as Best Jazz Vocal Performance.
Wow.
Representing the BX. She even throws up the X, had the B in the tradition of the KRS-Ones.
Yes.
In the tradition of the original Rocksteady crews, in the traditions of the Cool Hercs of hip-hop culture. She represents the Bronx. And when you listen to her voice, You also hear her summon the spirits of the Sarah Vaughns, the Ella Fitzgeralds, the Billie Holidays, the Nina Simones in 2023. The Lauryn Hills, if you will.
Come on.
She has it all rolled up in her. For some reason, I think she got a fire 16-bar verse she probably sitting on. Because I know she don't just sing. I know she's from the Bronx. I know she can rap too. And we're really excited to have her here because she's representing a tradition that is originated here in the States by our people from our community when you talk about jazz. And for her to be at the age she is and sound the way she does, she done summoned some spirits from generations past. I want to welcome her to the show. What a great honor to have you here. Give it up for the one and only Samara Joy, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, Samara?
Thank you so much.
Come on.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here this morning. I mean, I've been listening to you for quite some time.
Really?
On the way to school, my dad would drive us to school from Fordham Road, Grand Concourse every single day. So it's really an honor to be here in person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my daughter lives in the South Bronx right now too. Yeah, I might have to hook y'all up. I would love for her to hang out with you and go on this world tour you about to do.
Listen, we starting this Friday. We out.
Y'all out. So talk about the tour. You going to Europe, right?
Yes. This is the fifth time in the last couple of years, and we're hitting the Jazz Cafe in London. We're going to a couple of places in France and Sweden and Poland and the Netherlands.
Wow.
It's been fun, getting to tour in the States and overseas, just playing for different people. But the response is always the same. It's always very positive. So
yeah. Family, her whole family are musicians. Well, your father's side of the family, right? Your father's side are musicians. Your people from Philly.
Yep. Both of my parents, actually. And my grandfather, he still lives in West Philly, 92 years old.
92 years old, West Philly, born and raised.
Yeah.
Does he know Will Smith by any chance?
He actually, did he meet? Yeah, he met him because he was on this show called Sunday's Best on BET.
Yeah.
He was
Kirk
the runner-up
Franklin
to he was the runner-up to Leandria Johnson.
Your grandfather was?
Yeah. Elder Goldwire McClendon. This had to be like 13 years ago, something like that now. But
Wow,
yeah.
that's cool.
So this runs in the family.
Yep, it runs in the family. He had a choir. He founded a choir called the Savettes of Philadelphia. And my dad, he plays the bass. My aunts and uncles, they all sing and play instruments and stuff. So it runs in there.
You ever meet like some of the famous OGs you met coming up?
Gosh.
Gamble and Huff. Like who have you met?
I didn't get to meet him. My dad, he toured with Andre Crouch, and I think the most celebrities that I probably met was probably at the Grammys. That I've ever seen. Mary J. Blige was. We were all like, the red carpet line was so like crazy, trying to get there, and I shook hands with The Rock, and Snow Allegra was over here, and I met Kirk Franklin and Erica Campbell and Mary. It was great. Lucky Day. I was like, I can't believe I'm here with all these people.
Yo, wow, met Lucky Day.
Crazy.
It's like a sardine can full of celebrities, right?
It was ridiculous. I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Yo, well, you
Jasmine
belong
Sullivan,
there.
Philly, that's more Philadelphia.
And she actually we were I looked back and she had the whole Phyllis Hyman joint.
Yes, she did. Yes,
and
she
she was
did.
like, oh my gosh, I know you, and I loved you. She comments on some of my stuff on Instagram and stuff. She's so sweet.
Mike Muse has a question, but before he asks you, I want to say to you about the Grammys. I was home on my bed watching you when you won, and your speech and your response was so sincere and beautiful. It was nice to see your honesty in all of it. It was very touching. And just to acknowledge the people that was there by saying, I watch all of y'all on TV. I felt this, like you embraced your moment, and it was beautiful and it was very honest. And I said to myself, if I ever meet her, I'm going to tell her that. And here you are. So keep that beauty and that honesty that you have with you. It transferred beautifully.
Thank you. So, I mean, me and my little brother were sitting at the table and we were having fun. Like we was watching a hip hop tribute. Like it's like Method Man, LL Cool J, Queen Latifah. Like we were just having so much fun. So when I found, like, when they said my name, all words, I was just like, I'm so sorry. All words just like left. I was like, can we? Is this real life? Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
You were.
You didn't see him on the red carpet? He's pretty famous.
I didn't make it to the red carpet. It was so packed. It was like, we got to start the show. Everybody get in. Yeah. Red carpet's closed. But.
I was so proud of you at the Grammys, but I wasn't going to mention that. I was going to mention and keep it all in the family. In Sunday's Best is that Samara Joy. I don't know her, but I knew of her. She used to lead our praise and worship at World Changers Church in New York, where I attend, and she's always been in the church. So I hear it's in the family then with your grandfather and the whole nine.
And World Changers,
beautiful voice. You used to crush it every Saturday and Sunday. Yeah,
and it's like
we're proud of you when you won. The Royal Church community were texting. You're like, yo, that's our girl. We're very proud of you.
They let me, the age limit for being like a worship leader, praise and worship leader, was 18 years old. And so I was in the choir when I was like 15, and then when I turned 16, it was like, okay, we want you to, take the mic. And I was like, it's a huge congregation, and
it's big.
When I first started doing it the first couple weeks, they was like, we love your singing, but you don't blink. Girl, you gotta, you have to, so I realized then it helped me develop my voice. It helped me develop my confidence and realize that it's not, when I sing, it's not necessarily about showing people what I can do. It's about fellowship, it's about bringing people in. So, and I try to apply that also as well to my own shows.
But that's the humility. I think that's why you're being recognized as the gift that you are, because even in praise and worship, a lot of times it's about the person who's singing, and sometimes a praise and worship can be so performative.
Yeah, exactly.
But you removed all the performance aspect of it and just keep the spirituality and ushering the spirit into the room. And it's a sanctuary, and you did that every time. And so salute to your voice and your gift.
Grammy Award winning.
2 times.
Wow.
2 times. 2 times. 1 time. 2 times.
Yes, Lord help.
You know that.
2 times.
We gonna dig in that too. All right, we gonna dig in that bag in a minute. All right, Tracy G.
Yeah, I mean, going off of what Mike Muse is saying, this makes me wonder then, how are you navigating your name being said in so many more rooms amongst so many other people? Because even with the humility that many of us can begin with, getting a lot of attention can really tempt the ego to come out. You know what I mean? How are you kind of taming it?
I don't know. It's just like I've always kind of separated myself, I guess, from like the popular and like celebrity kind of, like the Grammys is something I literally watched on TV. It was like, that's their world,
right?
And this is mine over here. So now to be kind of connected, it still kind of feels like that, where it's like, I'm not used to getting into this world and like all of these celebrities actually like rooting for me and cheering for me, and even not just celebrity, like support, like people listening to my music. I run into World Changers, run into people who wouldn't otherwise listen to jazz, who are like, you are my first introduction. Like I'm humbled by the fact that I know that this is only the beginning. It's like all of this recognition is like a push to get better, and to be the best person that I can, and the best artist that I can be, to share with people for however long to come. So
you're easy to root for.
Yeah, super easy. How does a young girl like yourself, I don't know if you choose jazz or jazz chooses you, because when you see, I mean, let's just be honest, a young, beautiful black girl that can sing is automatically like gospel or R&B.
Yeah,
you know? But then you have this unique voice. Like, I heard your music out in the hallway. I'm like, who is that? Like, I'm going in that direction. How did you go the jazz route? Or, like I said, did it choose you?
I mean, I was introduced to it towards the end of high school. Like, before that, my dad is a bass player and singer, and I used to listen to gospel. I used to listen to Motown, like, Layla Hathaway, Donny Hathaway, the Isley Brothers, I used to listen to like Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder. So I had all of that in me, and I genuinely loved it. And I was like, this is that feel good music. Like, why am I 10 years old talking about, if this world were mine? But, so when I first started listening to jazz, I wasn't really attracted to it. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's historic. It's, something that I definitely want to learn more about. But when I got to college, I went to SUNY Purchase, upstate New York, for the jazz studies program. I was like, I want to keep singing. I want to learn about this style. And I realized just how beautiful it is, and how like in sort of like a in the similar way, like I love, I guess, acoustic performance, like listen to Kim Burrell or like the Clark sisters, like just singers, flat-footed singers. That's the same thing I felt when I started listening to like Sarah Vaughan and Carmen McRae and Betty Carter and those kind of singers. So I was attracted to it. I wanted to learn more about it, and it turns out that it was like my home, you know, for my voice. You know, I just felt like I was at home with telling these kind of stories, with like, you know, sharing my voice in this intimate kind of way, and jazz clubs and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Samara Joy. Yeah. That's a great question. Hip hop, you're from the birthplace of hip hop.
Yeah.
The Boogie Down Bronx. I heard you throw it. I saw you throw that up on one of your interviews. Threw up the X. It looked like
that. Before Black Panther, man.
Yeah, before.
We've been doing that.
You've been doing that, right?
We've been doing that.
So I know, well, when we think of hip hop, like I want to say Tribe Called Quest, you know, Guru from Gangstar did a Jazzmatazz series. You know, these are people who've done things early on, but it's played an instrumental part in how this music, this culture has formed, jazz has, right? And it's also given a lot, it's resuscitated a lot of careers when hip hop starts to sample music. Who are some of those hip hop artists that you've fallen in love with along the way? Because I keep saying Lauryn Hill, and you damn near, you be applied when I say Lauryn. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I love her, and I think that sometimes with hip hop, I wasn't allowed to listen to it growing up, and so I kind of had to do it behind my parents' back. But you
about to snitch on yourself?
A shared experience.
Right? It's like either get the clean version or just listen to it on YouTube, and then when they come around, change the, you know, like just change the screen. What you listen to? Nothing. But I feel honestly, you know, for me, Kendrick Lamar was kind of like my first introduction, I guess, to combining jazz with and having like a different beat, a different sound, and a different message compared to, I guess, what's popular. And so To Pimp a Butterfly was like, you know, like one of my favorites, as well as like a Lauryn Hill and like a Tribe Called Quest and things like that. So.
Okay. Would you ever collaborate? The Bronx is known for now this new wave of drill music. You know, the little TJs and all these young artists that are coming from the Bronx. Would you be interested if they called out?
I don't know. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's see what the song idea is, and then I'll see if I can contribute to it. Because most times I like to, you know, listen and take in, you know, other artists and stuff like that. But if I can't contribute any more to it, it's just like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't know if I can. It already sounds good. I'll just listen to it and support it. You know.
What if it doesn't sound good? What do you say?
If it doesn't,
yeah,
I'll say nothing.
Okay.
Deuces.
Well-oiled machine over here.
Silence is an answer.
Yeah,
keep it to myself.
Way you can jazz up deuces. Deuces.
I go to the Blue Note a lot. You know, last time I was there, it was with Robert Glasper. You had Dave Chappelle there. Who else was there? D1 was there. Qualegis did something at the Blue Note. But the audience is a lot older than who you are, you know, at these jazz clubs. Are you starting to see an influx of a younger generation coming in these spaces because of you?
Yeah, and I think that social media and TikTok has a lot to do with it because, you know, they're like, you know, I will come to, I don't know, just a random city like Indianapolis or something like that, and they were like, come up to me after the show because I like to sign CDs and take pictures with people, and they're like, I never ever listened to jazz before, or, you know, this is my parents' music, but I'd never seen somebody like you taking it for the next generation, and now I'm coming to you because, you know, I'm in school for it right now, and like you're like one of my main role models, and you're my age, you know, and I'm coming to the show to see you, and, you know, you inspire me to keep going and understand that, you know, everybody has a lane, you know, that you can, it's like, sometimes it's tempting to go into the crowded lanes, I guess, where it's like a lot of a good thing, which is not bad, but, you know, I feel like now I'm in a space, you know, where I can own it, I guess. Yeah. So, and just be myself in the process. So, I definitely think that TikTok and social media play a part in inviting people who wouldn't otherwise get into it, my age and beyond, you know. So.
And you don't even have to campaign it, right?
No, not really. I just like just sing, and if you like it, come on. If you don't, that's cool too.
That's cool too.
That's just dope. No, because it makes, listening to you talk, it makes me think about obviously Erykah Badu and Lauren and Jill Scott and Lettucey and all of these beautiful Mumu Fresh and Guapole, all these beautiful women who just sing from their heart and, like you said, flat-footed and come in and embrace. It's so good that you're being embraced and recognized. I'm happy for you, for sure.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, you're so humble right now.
know.
I promise you, I'm gonna be. You got to come back all the time now, Samara. So,
Listen,
you know,
I'm right up the block. One train.
one train.
Oh, she's still on the
Still on the train?
I'm still on the train.
You still
Listen.
take the train?
Yes.
You gotta cut it out now, Samara. Not no more now. Chill
I'm
out.
so happy about it too. I like being normal. It's like I had my little dip in LA. Back to
So
New York.
you've taken the train since you won the 2 Grammys,
Yeah.
and nobody.
Wow.
What? That's
That also
the
means
life,
you stacking
yo.
your bread. You save it.
She high good.
That's the life.
See, once I take all this off, we back with the hood. You know what I'm saying? With the
Yeah.
hood and the headphones, just blend in. You know?
Unbothered.
It's amazing.
And I have to say, my first, like, before, listening to you on the radio and stuff like that, I watched Stomp the Yard growing up. Oh. And my favorite part was like, okay, everybody is in the building. And I don't know, everybody was like dancing and that was like one of my...
Do your impersonation of me. You've
No,
done it
no,
before.
no,
Go ahead.
You never seen stomping
like this before. I used to watch that video. I mean, that movie all the time, and I just like, oh yeah, that's Sway right there. It's like
Yo, that's
one
love,
of the best
man.
cameos ever.
Right? Come on,
Why
Samara.
you acting shy, Sway? If
Thank
she
you.
wasn't here, you'd say that damn line every week.
Never seen
Yeah,
stepping
right,
like this
Tracy?
before.
You want me to give it to you real quick?
Yeah, no, go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh gosh.
Hold on, let me get some water, Samara. Let me wet my whistle.
Oh,
Wet my
gosh.
whistle.
Let's see if he can do one take hold right now, Samara.
Hold up, I need my motivation. I've never seen stepping like this before.
Yeah.
I love it.
See, now I gotta go and watch it now.
Now you gotta
See,
go
now I gotta go
Oh,
and watch it now.
listen.
Hilarious.
I tried to deliver that shit for you too. All right. Listen, we got to do more. I know this is a quick. They said you were going to be in the building. I said we have to have her. We want to support your music.
Yes.
I love the Linger a While album.
Thank you.
I'm gonna end the show with one of my favorite tracks. Guess who I saw today? Which is a hilarious track to me. And this is what I love about jazz. It could tell these stories in such an eloquent way. Even when you're dealing with infidelity. Did you write these songs or?
No, all of them except for all of them are written by other composers. I wrote lyrics to 2 of them. So one of them is like a trumpet player who was I think he was like maybe 24 when he recorded it, but it's like back in the 50s. He died when he was 26 years old, and I wrote lyrics to it, I guess expressing what he would have said if he was able to celebrate an anniversary or marriage with somebody for a long period of time, because my parents were married for 32 years now, and I got to see that kind of love on display in my life, and it shaped who I was. So I wanted to try to imagine what it would be like for him, as well as many other musicians who died far too soon, what it would have been like if they had not only seen their impact on musicians, but if they had gotten to experience like a core part of of life. But other than all the rest of them are just, they're songs that I gravitated towards based on the singers that I was listening to at the time, like Sarah Vaughan. That's who I listened to for Can't Get Out of This Mood. Carmen McRae and Nancy Wilson, Guess Who I Saw Today. It's just all a collection of influences.
I love it, Samara Joy. Mike, did you have one last question?
I did. I was just curious about. I know I was listening to you and thinking about TikTok and Instagram and influence and open younger people up to jazz performance. My niece reminds me a lot of you. She's around your age, and she went to the New School for vocal jazz performance. Her name is Safa, and so she's with Amelia Esperance right now. But I'm just curious about. How did you guys think about a career? Because vocal jazz performers is so specific and so niche, right? Did you think about livelihood after? I know that was a big conversation in our family, was about postgraduate studies. Like, what was happening? Was that a conversation with you and your family? How did you think about livelihood afterwards?
When I went to Purchase, it was like either go to school. Like part of it was like either go to school, like my mom said, or if you take a break or you take a gap year, you're not going to go back. So it's like you should be in school doing something. So when I got there, my only focus was learning all that I could about it, because I was starting from zero. I felt like not really from zero, because I had vocal influences going in, but related to jazz vocal, the style of it, you're getting the sound, because I already had the sound of gospel, the sound of all of these different genres in my ear, but I didn't know what jazz sounded like. So my only focus was immersing myself in it as much as possible. And the career thing, it just happened as I continued to grow and make connections with people and stuff. So
it's amazing.
Last question. Jazz always had this this stigma to it about substance abuse, right? A lot of jazz artists in the past have experienced that. Some of the legends, Billie Holiday, Miles Davis. I can list. It came with the culture.
Yeah.
At one point, what is it like now? Does that exist a lot? And I know you're not on nothing, right?
No, sir.
Okay, good.
My mama would, man. She'd be like, listen, I'm gonna take you off the road real quick. No more.
Yeah.
But I was very protected, I think, as a kid. Like my parents, I went to public school all the way up until college, but my parents made sure not only they had had a good example. They're both, church going, very faithful. We prayed every single morning, driving to and from school, being in after school programs and stuff like that, staying busy. But I think that for a lot of musicians, young and old, it can be hard, being heard when you're doing restaurant gigs and stuff like that. It's like $50, $100 here and there, and trying to make ends meet. So everybody kind of needs a vice, I guess. But no, I hope I guess to be an example of somebody who's you don't need that in order to sound better, or it's cool or anything like that. No, my health is cool, and I want to keep it that way.
There you go. Good. You don't even drink sugar. I noticed that. Yeah.
Just straight alkaline electrolyte water.
There you go. You see what I'm doing? Yeah. Ain't never drank water like this before. No, I'm joking.
You ate those Doritos?
You
snitching.
You snitching in front of Samara?
They're gluten-free.
They're gluten-free Doritos. Listen, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're so proud of you. You gained a new tribe with us. Okay.
Thank you.
Anytime. So you have to come. Who else has done stuff? Robert Glasper.
So many people. Anthony Hamilton, Robert Glasper, Baptiste,
John Baptiste.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot of
so many people.
We feature a lot of jazz musicians here. I would love for you to come back one time and Moo Fresh and do, if you could do a performance for us.
Yes, for
Tank
sure.
and the Bangers.
Tank and the Bangers. You'll do that?
I'll practice my rap too. I got a little.
You got something? Throw a beat on Torey. No. Throw a beat on Torey.
No.
No.
I only know this the Left Eye on No Scrubs, her rap.
Okay.
I don't know if it can go with this.
Let's see.
I don't know if it can go with this. See, if you can't spatially expand my horizons, then that leaves you in the class with the scrubs, never rising. I don't find it surprising if you don't have the cheese to please me and bounce from here to the coast of overseas. So.
She got it.
I lost it for a second.
Yeah, but you had it for a second.
That's great.
So you go ahead, prep that verse. I knew
I'm gonna prep it.
We got a hyena up here.
Oh, you're so cute. That was good.
Oh, thank you.
You found the pocket,
I said,
though.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, you did your thing. Hey, Samara Joy, man, you brought us a lot of joy.
Yes, you did.
You bring the world joy. Continued success. The album has lingered a while. That's been out for a while, to be quite honest with you. But that's what happens with a lot of jazz music.
Yeah.
Take a second, and then the whole world discovers, and then and then you out of the park now. Enjoy your tour. First tour date is
this Friday.
No, this Friday. Where at?
We're landing in the Netherlands. The first tour date is in Rotterdam.
Rotterdam. Man, that's some good times in the Netherlands. We won't go into that story.
Wait, off camera.
Off camera, yeah. Kind of forgot them, if you know what I mean. All right, we want to thank our other guests.
Stupid.
Leanne Jamad, I'm trying to be good around your handlers here. Leanne Jamad, we want to thank her for coming by, and we want to continue to support another Bronx native, Fred the Godson. Make sure you go to the Fred the Godson Foundation.org. Go to 25 Bruckner Street in the South Bronx today. They're opening up a new studio for Fred the Godson. It's called God's Will? God Level. It's called God Level from 2 to 7. We'll be back tomorrow. RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan is coming up here to talk about the final season of the Wu-Tang Clan's saga, An American Story, and Citizens. We want to end with this track, Guess Who I Saw Today?